Hello, friends. Today I'm speaking about cognitive load theory. Before I start speaking about it, let me first thank two people. Um, One is Dr. Robert Anthony. I've not seen him, but I watched the video in which uh, he extended his complete support to the teaching community, especially those working in private schools. As an educator, I felt really encouraged. Thank you, sir, if you happen to watch this video ever. And the second one is to a parent of my school. I'm working for Global City International School. Many of you know, right? Yeah, it's. I really don't know who the parent is, but I came to know from my vice principal, who said one parent wrote a mail to school saying that as we are going through these difficult times, we know. I mean, the parents is that they understand. The parents understand that the school is also experiencing a lot of difficulties in different terms, and so especially like in getting fees and stuff like that. So the parent suggest to the school to tell them what more they can do for the school so that uh, everything goes on as usual, whether in terms of paying an extra fee or something. That was amazing. So, to that parent, a big thank you. To all such parents, a big thank you. And to all those who are experiencing difficulties now, we are with you. Don't worry, this too shall pass. Right. Okay, now let me come to my point. As I said in the beginning, I'm just going to speak for a few minutes about the cognitive load theory. I'm not going into the details, but why I thought of speaking about it right now, the reason is we are more likely to take online classes at least for the month of June. As of now, we don't know, but in many parts of India, it will happen. Yeah. So that is when this theory becomes more relevant. The cognitive load theory becomes more relevant. Now, the cognitive load theory is being looked at from three different aspects, or rather, there are three different stages of cognitive load. It, what is it? It simply refers the uh, to what a human brain can take, what a learner's brain can take. That is the cognitive load. So, as teachers, there is a big vital role that we can play to reduce the cognitive load. That's why I thought of sharing this video. Now, see, the cognitive load is attributed to three different, or rather, it is seen from three different perspectives. One, the intrinsic cognitive load. Intrinsic cognitive load refers to the complexity of the content of the learning material. That is to say, like if you want to teach, say, some rocket science to a grade 2 student, or to me, I, I will never understand it probably, or a grade 2 student may not understand it. Reason? Because of the inherent complexity of the topic. Yeah? It would be too difficult for the brains of a young learner to take that in, right? So same for anyone, any age group. What the content that you want to learn could be too difficult, too complex. So that attributes to cognitive load for you. Now, that is one. Now, the second one is the extraneous cognitive load. That is where colleagues, we can bring in a difference. Extraneous cognitive load is the difficulty to learning that is contributed by extraneous factors. For example, you want to say teach about some mathematical concept to your students, and then if you go into the class, stand there and then just speak about the concept without using your whiteboard, your board, blackboard or whiteboard, whatever, a board, a smart board or a PPT. Probably students will find it way too difficult to understand because of the way the information is presented to them. That is extraneous. Maybe if the class is too disturbed, if everyone is talking, if all the students are talking among themselves, I mean, they can be talking about the concept that you're teaching as well. That will be good. But if they're talking about other things, probably that will also add to the cognitive load. Yeah? So what can we do? We need to be very careful in presenting the content, especially online. See, it gives us a lot of possibilities. We can use videos and PPTs, whiteboards, and like applications like Moodle gives us a smart board facility. So, whichever ways, when we are presenting information to students, we need to first ask ourselves, if I present this information in this way, will my students be able to understand it? Yeah. Say, for example, you want to explain what a coconut is to a learner who has never seen a coconut. Yeah. There are different ways you can do it. You can go stand in front of the student and the learner and then say, okay, a coconut is kind of a fruit. It has got a hard shell. Um, it's white inside, it has water inside, it's grown on a long, big tree, like a palm tree. Now, however hard you try to explain the concept of a coconut tree, probably the learner will find it very difficult to understand what it is because of the extraneous cognitive load. What can we do? Maybe we can take a coconut to the class and show them this is a coconut. It solves all problems. Now, that is not, if that is not possible, probably you can draw one on the board, you can show them a picture. See, what you're doing is just by showing the picture of a coconut tree with coconuts, probably you're bringing down the cognitive load tremendously. And this is possible with almost every concept. So we need to explore multiple ways of presenting content, presenting information to our students. Yeah. So let's maybe probably we'll have to. If my school is starting in June, and if you have you're going to work for a school that starts in June, probably we'll have to start working on it right now. To prepare a lot of content, right? To present it in ways that would reduce extraneous cognitive load. And the third is germane cognitive load, but that is where the students process information and turn it into schemas. Means that is where the learning goes from surface to deep, or from short-term memory to long-term memory. So what actually comes into play is prior knowledge the students have. If students have no understanding of what you're going to teach in that class, probably they will find it very difficult to grasp the concept. So what we can do is bring in the concept of the flipped classroom to some extent, not completely, I'm not saying completely, to some extent. Tell the children in advance, okay, this is what we're going to do in the next class. Rather, share your lesson plans with them. In that way, if they do not know, or if they do not have the sufficient prior knowledge, probably they can go do some research, gain some knowledge, and then come for the class, right? Now, if students come from grade 2 to grade 3, grade 9 to grade 10, so if some concepts they have not learned in grade 9, then probably when there is an extension of the same in grade 10, it might become difficult for them. That is why prior knowledge becomes very important. Yeah. Um, Please do a little more research on the cognitive load theory, and especially on the second point I mentioned about extraneous cognitive load, and then see how we can reduce extraneous cognitive load. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching.